For a while now, I've been releasing content explaining through a series of studies that carbohydrates have a slowing effect on our metabolism. Beyond that, however, that a low-carb diet, or any diet that promotes ketone generation, speeds up our metabolism. It's been a pretty wild ride looking over this research and has taught me a few different things that have changed my view for a more educated and nuanced one. Naturally, the data I presented would get keto enthusiasts excited and saying, "See, keto is the way to go." Well, I'm not here to argue the science. It is what it is. But I'm not switching to a low-carb diet, and here's why. I like carbs. As a matter of fact, I love them, as many people do. This is a perfect illustration of why I find a lot of people's mentalities to learning new diet information so humorous. Yes, it's true, a ketogenic diet might speed up your metabolism, but knowing myself, would I be happy on a ketogenic diet? Absolutely not. So what's the point? Why bother eke out a few hundred more calories of nutrition cap when I'm going to hate my nutrition? This is exactly why I think people should think in terms of sustainability, then everything else, all the science follows. If you can't sustain to a nutrition style, why even bother looking into it? Another great example is my series looking at saturated fat on health. And again, here were multiple lines of evidence that saturated fat may not be the best source of fat in every area that we've investigated. That's to put it mildly. Yet, do I still eat saturated fat? You bet your ass I do. And that might have you scratching your head, but as much as I love health and I work out religiously, I track everything I eat to the entertainment of those around me. I know that no matter what, I want to enjoy my life within the confines of what I find sustainable. I heard on a podcast that Dr. Sinclair, the aging doctor, mentioned he eats a slice of cake something like once every few months or once a year, something absurd. That's nuts to me. I have one life. I do 80% of the right things for my body, and I'm going to cherish my 20% of the data-driven wrong things. I'm still going to present the data and tell you that if you care about X, maybe you should do more of Y or less of Z. But don't think for 1 second that I'm saying, because of result X, I will start doing Y, simply because the data shows an improvement. That isn't life. It's data-driven hell for a marginal benefit for the cost of the fullness of your life. If you have an identity that is driven completely by the data, then more power to you, because maybe you get a kick out of it. And for those of you with special health conditions that need to be more strict, I hear you. You need a nuance and you need the strictness. But for those of you that are frozen in place because there's too much information out there, take a breath and simply stick to the basics. It's enough. So, am I a hypocrite? Maybe. Although I've never claimed to change my life based on all the data that I present. Sometimes I do, but often I don't, because the juice isn't worth the squeeze. I'd also venture that because my lifestyle is unlikely to change based on the data, unless it's drastic, you might feel some level of comfort to know that I don't care what the results are and won't skew them to fit my personal life circumstance. So my motive is merely unadulterated, childish excitement and curiosity about learning. I'm telling you, if I'm a hypocrite for living my life based on sustainability rather than every study's conclusion, I think you should be a hypocrite with me. Speak to you next time. Bye.